This your boy Nick Levin of FrenchKissIntimates.com, and today I'm sitting there talking with my man Vic. He wanted to know about how do you put together a clothing line. Since I already put together French Kiss Intimates, I'm finna help him out as to how he can put together his own clothing line, and how you as well can put together your own shit if you know what you're doing. So what's up with you, baby?
Man, chilling on the man. Blessed to be here, you know what I'm saying? You know, I feel like I should come holler at you about you. You're an expert at this right here. You know what I'm saying? You've been on your journey for a little while with it, man. So I wanted to come touch bases with you and get some feedback from you, you know what I'm saying?
Okay. So what you trying to figure out? What you trying to figure out?
Really, man, it's just right to the point. Just really, where do I start? You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people that's trying to start this new path with fashion. A lot of people say it's real hard to break through to get into this industry, and I just really, it was a vision of mine that I had, and I was like, well, where do I start? What's the first steps that I should take? You know what I'm saying? I didn't know if I should cover a different demographic, far as what crowd to push my styles towards, what I was going for, and so that's why I'm here today. Man.
Okay. Well, I would sit and tell you, don't do it. I did everything the hard way. I did everything the hard way and the dumb way. Don't do it like that. Yeah. But if you're trying to put together your own style of clothing or whatnot, I would say just pick one set of clothing. Just pick only one that works for you, that you like, and see if anybody else will like it. Okay. So let's say if you had like t-shirt or some joggers or a hoodie or something, just only get just one hoodie or one shirt, one color, one regular color that seemed to be normal for everybody, and just use just that one. If you got a logo?
Yeah.
Put your logo on it however you want it, and just start showing it to people. Just show it to the people whoever you think your target audience is. If you think they rich white people like Tiger Woods, like people who play golf, or if you think they like younger kids who like rap, like figure out what you want, show it to them, see if they're interested in it. Because for what it's worth, depending on your demographic or what you're trying to put together, that one item you make, it can push off to where it can help you understand if your clientele will actually like it. Because the last thing you want to do is what I did, which is make a whole shitload of everything and can't get rid of nothing. That's annoying. That's annoying.
I can imagine. Anything you do like this comes with them growing pains of, and that's why I'm here reaching out to you, because I'm trying to eliminate some of the growing pains that could potentially come about,
I mean, for what it's worth, like the unnecessary growing pains, I'ma always help you get to those, because I already went through that. Nick Levin did that, so you ain't got to go through that.
Yeah.
But like, it's certain growing pains you have to go through so that you can recognize what you're doing. Let's say if you put your logo on this shirt, kind of like how FUBU did this.
Right.
Just go with just one shirt and use that one shirt in all of your marketing. Show it to everybody what you're offering, and just use that one shirt all the time.
It's funny you said FUBU. Them was like, that's the blueprint. Cause look, man, we was rocking them FB t-shirts back in the day, and they started with that. It only took them to get in LL Cool J ear.
Yeah.
Hey, look here, bro. I got this. We little starting our brand.
Right. That's
rock these for us.
Basically, back then in the '90s, they started the '90s era of marketing and advertising with I guess with your demographic of like who they was wanting. Yeah. They used their influencers, which was the people they was connected to, which is the rappers.
Right.
That's kind of like how it is today with people on social media. Like, I would reach out to an influencer that seemed to have the ear or the audience of the people I want to wear my stuff. I'll reach out to them that same way, but like, hey, can we do something? And they'll say X, Y, Z to where you can or you can't do it. So it's kind of the same. It's kind of the same, and it worked just like that.
And I respect their hustle for what they did. They set the tone back then, because wasn't no social media or anything.
Nah, you had to put your feet to the ground.
They was pushing them out the trunk. I can imagine the brother coming up to me, hey, I got these t-shirts, you pop in your trunk. They probably were like, what? Yeah. Man, I give you $7.
I give you something for this here. I'm not going to give you the 15, 25, whatever.
That you're asking for.
I'll give you something for this here. And you got to look at it. That type of hustle was like, you know what, man? I may make a loss with this, but I can get money on the back end. I may lose something today, but doing that, I can get some money on the back end to where I'll make up for this here. I'll make up for it, because this person is going to probably show my stuff off to some other people that I probably ain't reached out to. Yeah. They may be interested in that.
Right.
And if they seen it, they may ask him. Even if they don't ask him, if they seen him in it, and if I come back around if they see that I'm the one with it, they may be willing to. Well, I saw John walking down the street with this on. I liked it. I'm a support.
Yeah.
And so that person who paid $7 and probably ain't thinking nothing of it. This new person who saw it offer him, he'll probably pay full price for it. And so I may be losing today, but I can gain a little bit later
on the back end. Yes, sir.
Yeah, so that's kind of how they can work for you, man. It's a bunch of different ways you can put it together. But I would sit and tell you, if you're doing that and you're trying to put together your whatever clothing line you're doing, outside of doing it that way, the first thing you should do at all times is put together a budget.
Okay.
You need to have a budget across the board as to how much you want to spend.
Yeah.
So if your budget is $200, $500, whatever it is, whatever your budget is, add at least 25% more to that. Okay. So if your budget is $250, add another $150 to that. Okay. Just because that's for incidental, that's for fuck up. It's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen.
I did this already. If your budget is $100, add another $100. That's for incidentals of what's gonna happen to where everything gonna fuck up. Yeah. So just add on to that budget with that, and you always want to stay within your budget so that you can have that little cushion of when something come out. Now, the lower your budget, that's the lower of your product. Yeah. So. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. $100, depending on how you're doing it, $100 will probably get you a sample shirt, probably get you a sample shorts, a sample hoodie, and that's just one. Yeah. If you can make the one work, I mean, make the one work. But it just depends. I don't. You need to have a decent budget. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. For me playing around out here now, I can tell you off top. If you're trying to have multiple amounts of certain stuff, you should start off with a budget of a minimum of damn $10,000. That's just a minimum if you're trying to have options. Yeah. But options is almost too wrong for clientele that don't know you, because the last thing you want to do is give people too much to choose from. Yeah. You give them
too many choices.
Yeah, but you just give them what you want to give them, which is a shirt, white, black, yellow. White, red, green, whatever it is. If you're going to give options, just make it to where this is what I have. Because a lot of people come up and tell you, oh man, I wish you had a red shirt. Like, you know what? I want a red shirt. You'll go to the people, get your shit made with a red shirt, come back, he going to buy that red shirt.
He might have been the only one who wanted the one.
Nobody else going to buy a red shirt. And you got 50 pieces that you just got made, 49 of them left, and you can't get off of them. Because everybody else is buying the white, black, and the green ones. This one person wanted red. You wanted red too. Yeah. But that wasn't in your budget. So you decided, I ain't going to worry about it. This one person, I want the red. Made you excited. I'm finna get the red too. Go back and get the red. Come back. He buys it. He might even buy two. Yeah. He the only motherfucker to buy.
So let me ask you this. So it's better to probably, I'm thinking, the more people that come to you with the, say brother want that red shirt. Mm-hmm. Before him or after him, put it this way, I had about 6 more people come up to me and like, hey man, you got the color red? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So now I'm like, okay, it's on demand.
It's the feedback. So if they're asking for it, then you do. If the collective group is wanting it, then you do it. You got that one person in the group, fuck him.
Might put that to the back burner and say, you know what, I ain't got this red right now, but
I'm working on the red, but I got this white, black, and this green, and he gonna take the white, black, or the green because he liked the shirt. Yeah. He liked whatever design was. He liked whatever you representing. He liked all this, so he gonna take that. Yeah. He just gonna wait on the red. Now, if you make him wait too long, he gonna be upset. But that's just what come with it, though, man. That's what come with it. So you just wind up eating that. But you make it work for you how it needs to work for you. Don't allow your customer base to dictate what you're doing in the beginning. Okay. You allow them to dictate certain stuff after you get too big to handle yourself. Yeah. That's when you let them figure out what they like. But right now, when you small, like
just starting off,
you control it all. You tell them you're gonna have to get this or this. All I have. Okay. And they'll be happy with it.
And that brings up another question. When you first started off, how would you, and not only give advice to me, but for others that's doing this, on how big is the quality when you first are starting out? Is it a major concern?
The quality It depends on the type of person that you are. For me, the quality is most impeccable because I take pride in my work.
Right.
So
right.
I take a lot of pride in the quality first.
Okay.
So before I even deal with anybody to where I'm having stuff made or whatnot, I'm dealing with, hey, how does this feel on my fingers?
Yeah.
Because there's no secret. I make women's underwear, so how does the underwear feel within my fingers? If I like how it feels in my fingers, I know the girl is gonna like it. Caressed up against her thighs and her hips. It's gonna feel better when they got it on their body. If it feel good in my fingers, and my fingers more rougher than my hips would. If a girl is putting this on, she's gonna like it.
Yeah.
So for me, the quality is number one. I need that out top because the last thing I want is for a chick to come back and tell me this is trash. It's gonna hurt my feelings.
Yeah.
It's gonna hurt my feelings.
I mean, with anybody, that's
Yeah,
it's your,
it's like my underwear I make for women is my baby, man. I like it. I like the fact that I'm able to make women feel good. So if a girl come to me like, this is trash, it's gonna hurt my feelings. So
I understand.
To me, quality is number one as far as where I'm coming from. For you, it could be a little different. You may be having just T-shirts. No, people may not care about shirts. I do. I care about how that shit feel on my body regardless. Cause
I'm big on quality myself, man.
Yes.
When I buy something, I'm looking for like, is it okay? Let me. The price now, it depends on the price too. You asking me to spend $100 on this shirt? I'm like, man, let me. I'm a rub it. Okay, let me see. Oh, they got the stitching. They got the stitching on it and everything. That's what's up. Okay, I see the quality is where it's at.
Yeah.
But you get some of them brands that you could tell like, man.
See, a lot of the brands that you're thinking of that may be iffy, a lot of that is from overseas, like Sri Lanka, China. A lot of people who are selling clothing online right now through social media, they have their plugs. They're overseas, whether they're in Bangladesh, anywhere. I done had a few of them reach out to me saying, hey, I can provide you underwear for you. I don't deal with them because I like to be able to touch my stuff. I like to be able to go to my manufacturer. I like to watch them as to what they're doing. I don't want for my stuff to come from overseas and then when it's coming from overseas, I gotta wait 2 to 4 weeks to get it here. Yeah. Then I gotta wait for customs to release my stuff, and then when they get here, it may not be what I'm liking. Yeah. I would hate to spend a whole shitload of money to get a whole set of whatever I'm paid for, and when I get it, it's not to my standard.
Yeah, then you gotta go through the process, the waiting game.
Yeah, then I'm like, I gotta sit and talk to them, tell them, hey, this didn't work out for me. It's probably a language barrier, and it's definitely a time barrier. So now I gotta figure out how can I send this back to them, or do I just eat this? Do I have the money to eat this here? No, I don't. A lot of people, I told you about the budget. That when you have more money, that's the incidentals. You need to be able to, I gotta send this back. This ain't what I want, because I can put you on. When I first started, I had my manufacturer was out in Mexico. I had a manufacturer, he was out in Mexico, he did my underwear, and he was supposed to have my stuff back to me within 2 weeks. It took me 4 months to get my first set, and this is just in Mexico. Just in Mexico. It took me 4 months to get my first set, and when I got my first set, I was still missing like 100 pieces. He didn't send them. That was just so annoying because one, it's a language barrier because that's Spanish and I'm English. Yeah. He understands English thoroughly because he knew money very well.
I bet he did.
They had their own thing going on. He was also selling things here to the States as well. And the reason why it took him so long to get mine to me is because he was waiting on other people in the States to make an order so that he can save money on the shipping coming to the States instead of him eating the shipping costs to get me my stuff on time. He just made me wait so that everybody else around here bought some from him, so he shipped mine with them. Yeah. And so that was
it wasn't a top priority of his.
Yeah, no. Even though I paid him day one, he told me, hey, if you pay my stuff right now, I got you covered. It's gonna be here this time here because I wanted it for a pop-up shop. Luckily, I missed the show because that's not my audience. But when I first showed up, I didn't know who my target audience was. I was just girls, people should buy my stuff. Bam. Yeah. And luckily, he didn't come through at that particular time. But with him not coming through at that time, it made me have to figure out what I wanted to do, figure out how I wanted to do it, and I also had to find a whole new manufacturer because I went from Mexico to New Orleans to Houston to Dallas. I went looking for manufacturers who can do my stuff, and I was trying to find people closer and closer and closer. Yeah. So the one in New Orleans was cool, but he was just too far. I found one in Cali. That was just too far, but they did the exact same thing, but they were just too far. Yeah. And I found one in Houston, like, all right, cool, Houston, good. I can make it work. I can just drive back and forth to get this here.
Yeah, close to it.
And I kept looking, and I found some people right here in Dallas. Like, you know what? I'm not burning. So I got access to my stuff. It'll take me about 45 minutes to get to my manufacturer. I can go straight to the shop. They let me walk all up in through there. I can talk to people. I see my stuff getting done how I want it. If it's coming up wrong, I can tell, hey, can you fix this real fast? They do it right then and there.
Man, you can't beat that. The same metroplex that you in, that you reside.
I'm right here in the city.
That's what's
and
up.
I got it put together to where I don't have to worry about shipping costs. I ain't got to worry about somebody stuff coming up short to where it didn't come in time. No, everything come through me. All my stuff come through my hands. I put it together.
Yeah.
Look, you can't fuck with me in this area.
Yeah.
But everybody else is sitting I can do this for you, and they can.
Yeah.
They can, but they can't do it the way I do it, and I don't offer my shit to nobody. I know what other people be wanting to do, but they don't want to do what I did to get it. I can help you, and I can show you where to go and show you how to put it together, but if you're sitting there, do it for me. I'll do that for you, too, for a fee.
Yeah.
I'm going to charge you a fee for what this series, man.
Yes,
so
sir.
It's the best thing you can do is try to find a manufacturer here in the city or in the States, and if you can't, overseas is cool. Overseas is cool. Just be ready to deal with the time difference and be ready to deal with the barrier to entry because it's going to be pretty high. Because I don't know what they minimum requirements of quantities that you got to buy, because it's a certain amount of quantities that you had about. The more quantities you got, that's the less you got to pay for it, but that's the more you paying off top.
Okay.
And the last thing you want to do would be like, I'm going to just cut the corner, get the most quantity I can afford, and get it here. And when you get it here, it ain't what you like.
Yeah.
That's hell.
Man, that got to be a nightmare right there, man.
I can only imagine.
Yeah.
I can only imagine how that feels, because to sit and have something you've been working for, you've been working with, you're thinking of it, you're happy with it. When you finally get it, you're excited. It's almost like Christmas.
Yeah.
Instead of getting that PlayStation 2, you got a damn PlayStation 1. Like, man, this is a PlayStation 2 box.
Yeah.
PlayStation 2 controller, PlayStation 2 video game, and you bought me a PlayStation 1. What am I gonna do with this?
How you feeling finessed, boy? I'm telling you,
Look
man.
Look here, boy. It'll hurt your heart.
Yeah, and that's going back to, like I said, the growing pains that come with it. Like I said, you done been through that, you know what I'm saying? And that's why I know I reached out to the right person, you know what I'm saying?
So what you're wanting to put together, like, what did you want to accomplish with it? Like, where you trying to go with it?
But I was looking at it from like leaving a legacy, because I always been one of them type of guys that was always into fashion. I'm willing to soak up all the game, that I'm told, and I'm absorbing it right now. So hearing you talk, man, it's like I really want to target the audience of the young minds all the way up until, I want to say, the demographic of maybe even people up into their mid 30s, late 30s. You know what I'm saying? Just talking and starting out now.
What are you trying to say?
So we're gonna start out with the sweatshirts.
Sweatshirts.
And name of the line is gonna be Frenzy Collective.
Frenzy Collective.
And we're gonna start off with sweatshirts, t-shirts, and fitted caps.
Okay, well, if you're doing it like that, I would sit and say, if you're trying to target the streets, you need to be trying to target 17 to 22 year old girls.
Okay.
Girls. Target them first, because if you're able to get, especially if it's a 17-year-old little chick or whatever, if you're able to get a 17-year-old or 18-year-old girl wearing your shit at school, and she's wearing it to her school or even college, and during passing period, other people see that's the best way to be able to push something off. Because if you can get a 17-year-old girl to like your stuff, and she willing to wear it to school, and she walking up and down the halls and that, you got something worthwhile. You on the path of other people are gonna want that. Cause see, back when we was coming up, and we still did it back then, but we was more selective about it when we was younger. But back then, boys and girls, not boys, predominantly girls didn't want to wear the same shit that the other girls had back in the day.
That's
like
true.
They never wanted to wear the same shoes, none of that stuff.
Yeah.
Today different.
Yeah.
Today different, cause back then a girl knew that another girl had the exact same shirt she had.
Yeah.
But she didn't want to wear it at the same day. They hated that shit. Today they like that. And so if a girl is 17, 18-year-old girls, high school or college, if they're in school, another girl will see it and like, I want that. I want that, because instead of them trying to be different, like how not different, but instead of back in the gap, we was trying to be
You kind of trying to be exclusive with your style, you know what I'm saying?
Like how you want to be like, man, this is me, you know, this is my style.
Customization.
Yeah, like how we had to have when we want our own customized stuff with just us that represented us. Yeah. Today the kids like to be together. They like to be a collective. Yeah. So like with this the case, you know, man, if she got this here and she got it, they like that. And even if the two girls don't like each other, they'll still like what the other one is wearing, and they'll be like, hey, I fuck with that. I don't fuck with you, but I like that T-shirt or whatever, or that dress.
Ooh, girl, where you get that shirt at?
Yeah, that's how it'll be. So if you can get, if you looking to be more like into a street fashion, start targeting young girls like 17 through 20 something, 17 to their mid 20s to try to get them in your shirts. Okay. Now, find a person who can talk to them. I would say find another girl to do it, because it's difficult for boys to talk to girls, young or old, into their shit. Me, I make underwear. I don't learn how to finesse through this, or I can get through that now. Yeah. But in the beginning, I couldn't. I didn't know how to talk to a 22-year-old chick about some underwear without them thinking I'm trying to hit on them. Yeah. I didn't need that issue, and it's difficult to get money out of a stranger.
Oh, definitely.
Back then, you know, for me back
people look for a reason not to spend their money with you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they do. They do.
Yeah, man.
But if they're able to see enough of you, it starts coming out. So pretty much, I would sit and say, you're trying to be you want to have a street genre type of clothing, you're gonna have to be where they at. Like you're gonna have to be if they in the clubs, or if they in I don't know what they do no more, but back in the Gap, you know, we used to be at the gas stations, after the club, after our spots, we would be this titty bar still somewhere wild. Like you just gotta be where they're at, displaying your stuff. So I would sit and say, if you know some if you got kids, or if you got like young cousins that's graduate, put them in your shit and tell them, hey, move off somewhere, and then just ask them what the feedback is on that. Yeah. So if you got enough of a budget to where you can let go of 2, 5, 10, 15 shirts or whatever, give it to your cousins, the younger ones, and ask them what the feedback is for that. Now understand, tell them to work for you. Because I done seen many people try the same thing, where their kids or their cousins, nieces, and nephew get their stuff and they don't wear it.
They don't, yeah.
Or they get it, wear it, and don't give no feedback. So when you handle them down like they owe you money. Like, motherfucker, what happened? Oh, they liked it. Who? I don't know. Did you tell them where to go? No. You was worthless.
Now that brings up another question. Now, could you avoid that, you know, people being like that, even relative with your brand, if you get, you know, I don't want to say research, but you get some feedback before you roll out your first the selective amounts of apparel that you release to the public that you really want to try to, you know, push your brand through, as far as like, would you wear this? What you think? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's like a focus group. You can do a focus group out in Dallas. There's a couple of spots where you can sit and have certain things. I forgot how much it costs, but you can have your product and you can go to these focus group areas, and they'll bring people in of your demographic that you ask them, and they'll give feedback right there for you about that, as to what they think of it, what they like of it, what they don't like, how much they willing to spend. So you can. That's the better way to do it. Okay. If you got a little money up front to go hire a focus group area, that's the better way to do it, to where you ain't gotta track down unreliable motherfuckers. Yeah. You can just deal with the people who this company does that. So I would sit and say, yeah, you can. I would sit and tell you to do a focus group that way, which is go. I forgot the names of them. It's a couple of them out in Dallas, but you can sit and tell them what you're trying to do. They'll bring the demographic in. They'll look through your stuff. They'll give you all the feedback you want. So that's a very easy. That's a more better way than what I just told you to do.
And do they charge for that?
Yeah, it's not free.
Okay.
That's in your budget.
Yeah. That's what you was going. That's what you were talking about earlier. Okay.
That's in your budget.
And my last question that I had, as far as the brand is, how do you avoid like being put in a box? It was these two guys on YouTube I was watching, and I guess they started off with a certain type of apparel that was, I guess you can say it was urban apparel, but they didn't graduate it to so much more. Now they making, you know what I'm saying, sweaters, suits. But one of the guys in the interview, the guy that was interviewing them, he called they stuff a street brand. Mm-hmm. They ain't like that. They ain't like that. So I was like, and I can kind of see where they was coming from, because if you associated with that and you put in that box, it's kind of hard to reach that suburbia demographic. You know what I'm saying? Because some people might be like, nah, I don't know. For the people out there that's looking to get into this industry with fashion, what would you say to when you start off from day one? You kind of want to leave it open to this is what we starting with. Is it important to broadcast that to your customers and potential customers that look, this is just where we started, but it's a bigger picture that we see, but this is just what we're gonna do. We throwing this on the table to get us established as a brand, and when you get established as a brand with that, how do you separate and graduate on to doing other things with that brand?
That's a lot of questions in one.
I ain't mean to flood it all on you.
I can break it through because what you're saying, I understand. I would sit and say that just have an end goal. Like the people who you talking about who had the street branding out there doing whatever other stuff, they had an end goal, which was they wanted to be in the high end fashion.
Right.
They didn't want to be street brand.
And that's really what I see my vision. Like
now you can do that exact same thing, but you gotta finesse that right. Like you gotta do that right.
Because me personally, in my opinion, the shirts that I roll out, it's kind of like a tryout. Like I wouldn't trip on pushing them same shirts for a couple years until say I got the whole cities of Fort Worth and Dallas wearing them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Then me, how my personality is, I'll feel like, you know what? They catching on. It's spreading. Now it's time to step it up. You know what I'm saying? Here's how we gonna come with the next batch. You know what I'm saying? I got this. Now we're gonna do the collar a certain way. We're gonna do the sleeves different. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I was saying. That's how you introduce it. That's how you step away from it, but keep it respectable. Okay. So where they don't feel as if, man, you just came here, took this here, and you finna burn out of here, and now you're using this. Like, nah, you graduate. You help them graduate. As to where I got a regular T-shirt. Then from a regular T-shirt, I'm gonna give like a little polo shirt. From the polo shirt, I give you a button-down shirt. They like that. From the button, I give you some coverage. Like you help them grow with the brand instead of a T-shirt and then a three-piece suit. Like what the fuck is this? Like that's
a big step. That's a big leap right there. Yeah.
Correlate. So that's how you help them grow with you. By providing things that they want. Now, it'll be a certain amount. It's always a small amount, but they make the biggest noise. It's never going to like what you're doing when you change something, if they like it. But it's such a small amount of them, they just going to make so much noise to where it's going to be hard to overlook them. But you can go past them, but you still have to help them grow with you. Some of them won't. So that's just part of how this shit rolls. Some of them will, a lot of them won't. You just gonna have to eat that with it, man. But I would sit and say, if you're gonna be a street brand first, be the street brand however you want to be, but make it to where when you start shifting over, that you ain't doing it to where they feel as if you done fucked them up. Yeah,
I don't want nobody else to feel like, man,
he came in.
He's selling out, man. He's selling out.
Because if you think about it, how today's lifestyle is of what things are going on. People like what they know. Because I don't know if you remember, but when that little rapper chick, what's her damn, Nicki Minaj, when she first came out, I saw her as a black Lady Gaga. She was doing everything Lady Gaga did, like all that wild, weird shit. She was all into that. But she had a vision of, you know what, this is gonna get me in. I'm gonna come in here. I'm gonna look like what you used to seeing, and then gradually I'm gonna start showing you what I am, which is a rapper. I'm gonna show you my rap lyrics, my skills. Gradually. But in the beginning, I gotta give y'all this little la shit that y'all like, and and like I just thought that she was gonna be like Lady Gaga forever. But then over time she started being Nicki Minaj, which is who she is. And if they're used to seeing it, then you come in and gradually start showing you. So if everybody only want white shirts forever, all right, you bring in all white shirts. But over time, after them white shirts done got enough, introduce another color shirt, like a pink shirt, not a pink, but whatever color shirt you want. Introduce another one to see what they want. Start showing you, because people will start, for what it is right now in this time and age, a lot of companies, a lot of brands, they take hold of the individual. They like the person. they're not really caring too much about what you trying to sell off. They want to know about you. They want to be in your business. So you got to give them a little bit of, or a whole lot of who you are.
Or in the brand.
In their brand. So they want to know about you, know what you stand for, why you make this here. This is what they're trying to figure out. So you give them that type of information as you see fit. So that's pretty much when you're putting together your brand. Be ready to sit and talk about you. Now, your product is like 20% or something. The other 80 is you. They focusing in on who are you, what are you doing, how you showing this here. No, what make it to where, how can you relate to them to where they can feel comfortable to send? So I'm gonna support you. You got a $50 shirt, I'm gonna buy that shirt. $100, whatever it is. So it's mostly about you. So your brand, trust me, you can have the coolest logo. I did the same thing. The coolest logo, the coolest slogan, the best looking clothes and everything. What's gonna wind up making you get slapped in the face is they gonna sit and ask you a question about you and the brand, and you ain't gonna think none of this. And I done been asked so many of them in the beginning where I couldn't think. Like they would
caught you off guard.
Yeah, I'm like, this don't have nothing to do with these underwear. I can sit and tell you the thread count. I can sit and tell you how much polyester. I can give you all this information about my product. You asking me about
personality questions.
Yeah, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? I had to learn it. I had to learn that this is what they're into. And so over time, I learned to get with it.
It's a part. I look at it as a part of the buy-in. You know what I'm saying? They looking to buy in. You know what I'm saying, to an investment. You know what I'm saying?
Because they see themselves investing with you because they want to see you grow. They want to see you grow and be prosperous. Like anybody who willing to buy from you, they want to be able to get you on the ground floor. This is almost to them, it's damn near like stock market. Like you're getting Google when they're offering it at 50 cents at a shirt.
And them be the main ones that'll be like, hey girl, I was wearing that first.
Yes, they
before they was hot. I was wearing that.
I got, and they'll most likely still have your if it's good quality. They'll still have your good. They still have your product from the first jump. Like, hey, I got his shirt when it was back in 2022, and this is 2026 now. He really blew up.
Done took off.
I was here from 22, and matter of fact, I'm here so good. Whenever I reach out and buy something from him, I get like a special discount code. That's how it be. Cause like with the people that bought from me, all of them get a discount code. All of them that had discount code that's just their own personal one. It make them feel
a part of the brand.
And important. Like, man, everyone who done bought from me, they pay full price the first time. After the first time, I have a bunch of specials just for my clients. Not for, I mean, they get their own specific type of sales. The people that bought from me, they get their own specific sales.
And them are your customers for a lifetime.
Then I got the sales that'll come for new people. Then I got mostly just my regular stuff because I don't really have sales for new people ever. Like I keep my stuff pretty much. My sales go to people who already bought from me. Like I done made a few custom pieces for a couple of clients. I done lost a lot of money on, but they done spent enough with me to I asked them, hey, what you like here? And they, I want this. I go make them their own personal set. They the only one. It's 1-on-1. I ain't done it a whole lot.
But the people that earned that with you.
They done spent some bread with you, boy. So I done made it for them to where they get their own specific shit. And it's not a bunch of them. It's not a bunch of them. But the ones who have done it, I done lost big money on this here. But I keep them coming. They always coming back with my stuff. And outside of them coming back, they always bringing me a new person. They always done brought me somebody new. And unlike other companies, I pay them for bringing somebody new to me. Because like back in the Gap, I didn't know nothing about them name brand clothes. Like Nautica and Jabot. I didn't know about them until I went to school and saw somebody with them. What the hell is this here? And they tell me what it is, and they sit and tell me how much it costs. I'm like, it's got to be something good. I go run back to my mama. I want this shirt. Nautica shirt. Nautica t-shirt was
they had a big wave, man.
Yeah, they were like $60, $70. You ain't finna give me that shit. But I remember seeing somebody else have it. I wanted it because they had it. And later on down the road, I wound up getting it. But fast forward to today, I help out my clients, my customers, to where if people like what they have if somebody come back and buy something from me because of you, I pay them a percentage of what they done paid for. And that go across anybody who done bought from me. That's on my website. So if you done bought something from me and you done paid the full price, and you bring somebody else to me who done paid full price for me for the same thing or something different, I give you a percentage of what they spent. And it don't come to where you gotta wait 2, 3, 4 months until your account done build up. I give you that money right then and there. To where right when they pay for it from me, I send you your money right then and there. Because I've been dealing with you so long, I know it's finna work. So that's just that's how I operate on mine. And that's how you keep newer clientele coming back. And that's how you keep the old clientele happy. Because I mean, I would have loved for somebody to sit and I would love for Nike to pay me a percentage for somebody coming to buy some shoes because I got this shit on. Nike don't pay me nothing. Yeah. And I understand why they too big, they doing what they do. I'm not big. So I gotta, in order for me to get big, I gotta give incentives of people to work for me, but ain't nobody working for free. Yeah. They're working for a fee. For a little fee. So like, hey man, I can give you a little, if somebody come back to me because of you, I give you a percentage of what they just spent. If they spent hundreds of dollars or a couple of dollars, I give you a percentage of this because I wouldn't have got them without you. Right. So I understand the value of a new customer and a new client because of the old clients. I understand this and I offer this to all of them. Now, granted, a lot of them don't do it because they just don't want to. But it's the few that do. They done made money. When I've been losing money, they was making money because of that. And I eat that because, like I told you before, I'm looking at the long haul. Like back in. Like I'm gonna get this back later on. I'm just right now. I'm not finna get it. Now, if I get to losing too much, I'm gonna have to stop something. Yeah. Right now, I ain't losing too much because that goes to that budget. I have the budget. We're talking about that. Yeah. I have it for like I did my incidental. Like man, I done had a couple of clients like man, stop sending me people. Like stop sending me people. But because I wound up making a sale and be happy with it, I'm talking to my accountant. Nigga, you negative. Shit, I knew it. God dang it. Okay, cool. I'm still gonna eat it because I have it for that, but I understood how it works. And like I told you, I'm looking at the back end, I'm trying to get this stuff way at the back, so I'm just working it that way. Yeah. So it just depends on how you're trying to put it together, what you're gonna pump when you do put it together, and what you want to accomplish. I want to accomplish having underwear on all the women. I want my stuff on all these fine women, ugly women, big women. I want it on all of them. You want everybody. All of them. Because different sizes, different shapes. I like what I put together. I'm passionate about my stuff. I know my stuff can compete with anybody else. I know it can compete with whatever name brand is. From the people who have told me what they like and what they don't like, nobody ain't said and told me that they don't like how I feel. They always said, this shit good. I like how this shit feels. They always gave me that. That's a high for me. And what's even more of a better high for me is when I go out in public and I see somebody in it. That's an excitement. And especially when they don't know it's me. That gotta be the best feeling in the world, man. They don't know. Me and my wife have been out a couple different times. Yeah. And we have seen my logo on a chick running around outside. She has no idea that it's me. Have no idea it's me. I just stare at them. My wife gotta be like, hey. They gotta that's a fulfilling feeling right there, man. They have no idea, like, you wearing my stuff. And it feel good. And they happy in this shit. Like I don't wanna go up to them like, hey, you know what's I just eat it. Like, you know what? That's a time where you just take it in as future motivation for you to keep on pushing. Hey, you know what? That letting me know right there I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Yep, because I mean it's just something. I don't know how to explain it. It's just a hot ass feeling. So if once you get into it, they start liking and you start seeing it on them. Not just on you see it on social media. They take a picture and everything. That ain't nothing compared to this. Like, don't get it twisted. I like when I see them when they tag me in on their social media. They're like, oh yeah, I like that shit there. Yeah. But it's different when you in public. Oh, they can't tag you. You see it in person that they fucking with it. Yeah, because you coming to do something. You out in public to do whatever you was doing already. You weren't focusing on this here. That was unplanned. And you go past like, shit, hell yeah. Yeah. I had to stop myself because I'm pretty sure I probably like a damn pervert looking at me. Oh man, that's my shit right there. I love it right there. So I had to be conscious like what I'm doing, but. It's that, like, when you start seeing your stuff on people that you don't know, like, you can see it on your mommy and daddy, that ain't the same feeling. All your relatives are the same. Friends and family, they ain't the same. It feel good. But when it's a stranger, when it's a stranger that validated your stuff, like, man, you don't know me from nothing, and you were just happy with my stuff, and you're showing it to me by being out here. Like, that's a... fulfilling. That's a feeling. When you get butterfly, man, it's a lot of stuff to go. I can imagine, man. As far as the legal side of things,
like getting copyright for the name, the LLC and all that for the brand. What? How do I go about that?
I would sit and say, as far as the legal side of the copyright and the LLC, the DBAs, all that, I would sit and tell you and anybody else, don't worry about that today.
Okay.
Don't worry. Now keep it in your mind.
Yeah.
But today, don't worry about that because you'll wind up putting a lot of money into that to starting it up. And I can assure you, the brand winds up growing and it can grow differently. And if you've been paid money for those particular names and you start growing differently, now you got to start over.
Yeah.
So I would sit and say, don't worry about nobody stealing your stuff right now because you ain't big. Don't worry about nobody wanting to copy your shit right now that you ain't known. Nobody. You'll start knowing when you feeling like somebody. Yeah. That's when you start figuring out, okay, I need to get a DBA. Holler back at me again once you start feeling like, hey, this is moving.
Yeah.
Right now, when it's just starting, don't waste your money doing that.
Okay.
That's an important budget to have. Very important to have, but that's not needed when you first start off. That'll clog you up in the beginning to where you won't take off.
You can use them funds for other purposes.
Yeah, put that towards something because you don't want to get your LLC and everything right now. I mean, you can right now, but you don't know how to use it right now. So you're spending money for nothing. You're giving money to the government to work for them for nothing right now. Because if you're literally telling the government, I have a business that I'm finna make money, and the government gonna see this here. And once you get put in their system, they gonna come to you every year, cut me my check for what you done made.
Yeah.
Like, I ain't made nothing. Show me. You ain't made nothing.
It's gonna be a little more of a hassle.
That means you're gonna have to hire an accountant to show them that you ain't made nothing. So you could have sitting there all this year under the table.
Yeah.
Got all your money on. I know a couple of cats who've been under the table and they've made a chunk of money. They've made a nice amount of money. Yeah. The government doesn't know.
Yeah.
And they're still under the table selling clothes.
Yeah.
I would sit and say do it like that until you get
to a certain stage.
Yeah. Until you get too big, because I can assure you, once you start figuring out, the government considers small business. They consider small businesses ones who make less than like 10 million a year. That's considered a small business. Yeah. Less than 10 million. That's a lot of money.
So you wanna really prolong putting them people in your business.
You don't want nobody in your business until you have to be. When you see people saying online, hey, get your LLC and everything, that's a strategy for them, and they give it to you, but they're missing a few key pieces that they're not giving you. Yeah. Because there's certain things that you can be big in it, but they're giving you only a small amount of information, and you take that and you'll screw yourself because there's other information that they're not telling you. So they're not saying nothing wrong. They're just not giving you everything completely. So if you're trying to get it the legit way, don't worry about the legit way currently today. You ain't even on the ground. Once you get off the ground, then come back to me and ask me about the legit way, and I can tell you how you can get your LLC, how you can get your DBA, get your name registered with the business, like how French Kiss is registered with everything. So I can show you that, but don't do what I did. I did all that shit, putting the name together and everything, and I done got my name, and I like my name. I don't want to change the damn name like 4 different times. I'm just not gonna pay for it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna pay for it. Like, you know what? It's gonna have to be what it is. That's how it goes. It does you good on the back end. If your credit is good and everything, where you start getting credit to where you can get money. Yeah. But if you ain't looking to get money from banks and nothing like that, don't even get your
don't really worry about
your LLC and nothing like that, because it's an unnecessary hassle, and it'll stop you from being creative and distributing your stuff. Yeah. Get your stuff out there first. Once you start moving, then hey man, I need to go ahead and put something together. There's nothing wrong with trying to think ahead like that, but don't bottleneck yourself right now in the beginning. You got a whole lot of stuff in the back. Don't make it real small right now. Just keep in mind, I'm gonna get that later. Don't make it too much later once you start making money. Yeah. But once you start getting on the road, like, you know, I need to do something, you'll feel it. You'll feel it, like, you know what, people starting to recognize me, they starting to look at me, they starting to talk to me. Let me go and get my copyright for my logo. Let me go ahead. Let me hire a lawyer. Let me go to look some online. Online is cool. I would say get a lawyer. But yeah. You can do it like that. You can do it just like that.
For sure. Like I said, it's hard to trust people in this day and age, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. People, hey, you look up, somebody got your name. You know what I'm saying?
Man, look here, boys, to cut the word out.
Man, it's real, man.
I was the same. I felt fearful. I still feel fearful to this day. But back then, I was like, I don't want nobody knowing this here. I ain't want to talk to certain manufacturers because they figure this out. They figure out my new design I done made. Yeah. They do it themselves too, because I ain't tell them, I ain't signed a clause with them.
Then a lot of people you run into, man, they might not really want to be as forthcoming with information to, you know what I'm saying? You know.
I mean, for what it's worth, I'm not forthcoming with strangers neither, because like this here is something that I learned and it cost me something. It cost me my time and money.
You had a lot invested in.
So don't take it personal for other people in a certain position that you want to be in, and they're not telling you that, because it cost them money to get to where they was at, and they like, man, I want to give you all this here, and you hop right here to stage 15.
I had to pay for this.
So I understand. Don't never take that personal unless you know them and they don't want to tell you. But if you don't know them and they ain't giving it to you, don't take that personal. Just be like, okay, I get it. Because people who don't know, you ain't walked up the steps yet, so you don't know how heavy this shit is walking up here. And so you just trying to get to level 15. Like, man, you need to start at level 1. Yeah. So it's just how it is. So
it's so much information that you're gonna obtain by going through them different stages.
And they are
very stuff that you need to know.
Yep,
that you need to learn.
Because in order to be at level 15, you need to figure out where you fucked up at level 5.
Okay.
Because you need to be able, because you're going to do the same problem in level 15 as you did at 5, but level 15 is going to be in a different strategy. It's going to be a different scenario, but it's the same problem.
It's going to be more seasoned to deal with.
Yeah, you're like, okay, I did it this way here, so you're going to do the same way. As to where if I just put you up here, hey, come on, get up here, you're going to crumble. Yeah. You're going to crumble under the weight like, man, I don't know what to do with this here. So that's just how it is. So don't take it personal when they ain't trying to give it to you. Just know that I help you out like I told somebody else. In order to get something that you want, you're going to have to sacrifice one or two things, if not both. You're going to sacrifice your time or your money. I didn't have no money, so it took me time to figure out what I was doing. People right now, when they come to me, they don't have the time, so they sacrifice their money for me to help them. Yeah. So you're going to get rid of one or two things, either your time or your money. If you're using money to get to where you want to go to, is because you don't want to waste time in the beginning, because you kind of know where you can be at. If you don't have the money to get to where you want to be at, you're going to have to start with your time and utilize and figure out everything. And I can assure you, the person who put the time, the person who paid with his time, he's going to be better off and more equipped than the person who paid with his money, because he knows everything from the bottom up to where once he gets to the top, he's not going to get screwed. Right. And to where the one who comes for the money, he can always get screwed because he don't know what it costs. Yeah. He don't know what it took.
Exactly. You're right about that. So
that's how it goes. But until then, man, I appreciate you coming through, asking me. I'm glad I was able to give you some information. Hopefully I did.
Man, you so did, man. Hey, and
this your boy Nick Lovin up here at FrenchKissIntimates.com. I'm up here talking to my man, letting him know how you can put it together and how everything works when you're trying to get your underwear or any type of line put together as far as clothing. If you want to know some information, you can ask anybody. The information of YouTube and the internet has all the info you like. But if you want some more, a little in-depth, you can reach out to me. I may or may not respond to you depending on what's happening, but I'll try my best to. But until then, it's your boy Nick Lovin of FrenchKissIntimates.com, and I'm out.